Hello and welcome to another tech vid. Today I'll show you how to manage your mailboxes using the Sophos API. I'll show you how to prepare your account for API management, which includes API credential creation in Sophos Central and authentication. Then I'll walk you through the API mailbox management process using Postman collection. Before you begin, ensure that you have super admin rights in Sophos Central. Let's get started. On the account where you're creating or managing mailboxes, first add the API credentials using the API. In your dashboard, go to General Settings. Then go to API Credentials Management. Click Add Credential and enter a name. The description is optional. Then choose which role to assign. For Mailbox Management, select Service Principal Management. Users with this role can perform all API mailbox operations with full CRUD capabilities and access to queries. CRUD stands for Create, Read, Update and Delete. Now click Add. This generates the credential together with a client ID and a client secret. Be aware that the client secret is only shown once. Copy these down for the next steps. Take the necessary precautions when storing these credentials as they grant admin level access to your Sophos Central environment. We recommend using Postman Vault or a similar application for storing sensitive data. For this demonstration only, I'll leave it in plain text. To access the Sophos email API documentation, navigate to developer.sophos.com. Go to API Documentation, Email Management API. The overview page provides paths to various APIs available for the product, which can be expanded for more options. Additional details can also be found in Docs, Email Mailbox Management API Guide for more information about available API requests. For demonstration purposes, I'll use the Sophos Central for Postman collection. In the menu, choose Postman collection. Once you're in the GitHub page, click the green code button and select Download Zip to get the latest available version. Make sure to unzip the file and remember the location of this unzipped folder. Note, the full Sophos Central collection is continuously updated, so refer to the API guide pages for the latest updates and manually run or import those APIs. Now open Postman. Click Import Files. Locate the unzipped folder and import the file Sophos Central APIs.postman_collection.json. Once imported, you'll see a new entry added on the collections called Sophos Central APIs. Next, I'll show you how to add variables for ease of access. Make sure that Sophos Central APIs is selected and click on Variables. Then, in the Variable column, enter in the variables Client ID, Client Secret, Access Token, Data Region, and Tenant ID. In the initial value, enter the respective values for Client ID and Client Secret from the previous section and hit Save. Next is the Access Token variable. This refers to an authentication token that must be generated before you can send APIs to Sophos. To get this, run the Authenticate API. In Sophos Central APIs, go to Authenticate, Send, and the token will be generated. Alternatively, use the curl commands found in the Getting Started pages of our API documentation. Select the token. Right-click and set this value for the Access Token variable added earlier. Lastly, obtain your tenant ID and data region. You can do this using the WhoAmI API. Once again, hit Send to run it. Alternatively, you can use the curl command in the Getting Started guide. The tenant ID is shown, and I'll set this as the variable value. The full API host value for data region can be seen as well. Make sure you only copy the specific data region ID shown after API dash and not the full API host. In this case, I'll set US01 as the variable. And now all the required variables have been added. Now I'll show you an example of using the Sophos email API. I'm going to create, find, and update mailboxes. This covers the main scenarios and core concepts needed to modify one or more mailboxes at once. Any APIs that aren't demonstrated will follow the same principles and be described in the API documentation. Going back to Postman, I've already imported the Sophos email APIs. I'll start with creating multiple mailboxes in a single API call. Ensure the required fields, such as tenant ID, data region, and authorization token, have been specified with the previously configured variables from earlier. These are required for all API calls, so I won't mention them again moving forward. In this instance, I'll create 3 different mailboxes with a single API. You must define the mailbox type, such as distribution list, user, or public folder. I've created one of each, and these are named Technical Support, John Doe, and Public Folder, respectively. Other options like bulk sender privileges, aliases, and policies are optional depending on your requirements. Note, if you use aliases to send or receive mail through Sophos, these must also be synchronized. If you fail to do so, emails will be rejected if they are not imported. Upon a successful API call, you should receive a response similar to the following alongside their mailbox ID. This mailbox ID can be used for updating, reading, or deleting mailboxes, which I'll show later. If you need to locate a mailbox ID, you can also search for it in your current directory using the Query Mailboxes API. Start by entering the search parameters. For this example, I'll look for any user mailboxes created after this date and time. From the results, I can get the mailbox ID, which is used for other API calls like deleting or updating. Lastly, I'll demonstrate how to update a mailbox alias. Again, this concept can be applied to other APIs, such as modifying names, groups, policies, and deleting mailboxes. I'll first copy the mailbox ID for the user John Doe. Open the Change Alias API. In the path variable ID value, enter the mailbox ID. Next, I'll modify the request to add the alias name, alias@example.sophos.com, to the John Doe mailbox. The return response acknowledges a successful attempt. I've now shown you the various methods for editing bulk IDs, finding mailboxes, and modifying a single mailbox. This should equip you with the knowledge needed to run all other APIs, such as mailbox deletion and name changes, to keep your account up to date. Use this to automate and integrate seamlessly in your existing workflows. I hope you found this useful. Check out the documentation for this TechVid in the description. For further assistance, view and post questions on the Sophos community. And visit Sophos TechVids for more helpful videos like this one.